From the news team covering the Carolinas. Live, local, late breaking. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Daybreak 6 a.m. in high definition.
And we continue to follow that breaking news in South Charlotte. Just talked to Captain Rob Brisley. He says no one was hurt in the fire, but a large fire at the Taco Bell on Providence Road at the Arboretum.
And the first 911 calls, they came in about 5:20 this morning. Charlotte Fire Captain Rob Brisley told us their equipment is in the parking lot and firefighters expect to be on that scene for a while. He also said an investigator just arrived on scene to begin looking for a cause for that fire.
We have an Eyewitness News crew just arriving on the scene as well. As soon as we have pictures of the damage, hopefully in a couple of minutes, we'll show those to you this morning.
Another big story this morning. It's back to the drawing board for congressional leaders after the stunning defeat of the $700 billion bailout plan.
Well, we found this tanker truck filling up at a local gas station overnight, but do not expect to see gas at most pumps this morning.
Plus, the buyout of Wachovia has got a lot of people asking a lot of questions about what this means for Charlotte.
The Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools are off today. It's a teacher work day, and we're tracking some rain for the morning commute. I'm Scott Wickersham. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Natalie Pasquarello. Let's head over to Mark.
Okay. Yeah, the rain, most of it anyway, has been south of the city this morning. We'll show you on Live 41.9. If you have an umbrella, you might want to keep it handy if you're south of Charlotte especially. Now, north of the city, it's been a little light rain up around Cabarrus County and just north of the downtown area. But south of the city, that's where most of the rain has fallen, and the heaviest rain even now is falling around the area. There's the movement roughly west to east. And there's been some lightning, too. Let's take a little closer look on our fast track, and I'll give you an idea where some of the heavier rain showers will be moving over the next few minutes. There's the storm track, and McBee at 603. You'll get some of the pockets of heavy rain we've talked about. And there it is as it marches from roughly, in the corridor around Highway 521 towards 601 is where the heaviest rain's falling right now. Temperatures, they're mild outside. It's in the 60s in Charlotte and Rock Hill and Salisbury. A little chilly up in the mountains. Boone's at 48. We'll talk about the rest of the day in a few minutes. Right now, let's talk about traffic. Morning, Jamie. What's up outside?
Hey, good morning, Mark. We have an accident in Statesville. It's going to be on I-40 eastbound near the I-77 interchange. The initial report were that injuries were involved. We think that perhaps the injuries are not as serious as first thought, but still some commotion I-40 eastbound near the I-77 interchange. Also here in Charlotte, we told you a few minutes ago about a gas line causing some delays on Independence Boulevard. If we can switch over to the DOT camera, you'll see that at least for the moment, those gas lines have dissipated enough that it's not causing a backup. Scott?
Jamie, thanks. We could learn more about Wachovia's buyout deal today. Citigroup says it will buy Wachovia's retail banking business and investment bank. Wachovia also sold its wealth management division, and Citigroup plans to take over billions of dollars in troubled mortgage loans from Wachovia. The banks are not talking yet about whether jobs will be lost in Charlotte, but control of some of Wachovia's operations will be moving to New York. Citigroup says it will keep the headquarters for all retail banking in Charlotte, which should help keep many jobs here. Wachovia will continue to exist as a separate company with the headquarters in Charlotte, and it will have two main divisions, Wachovia Securities and Evergreen Asset Management.
President Bush is expected to speak this morning about the financial crisis and that House vote that rejected the $700 billion bailout plan. Now, his speech is scheduled for 8:45 this morning. ABC News and Channel 9 will carry it live. It would have been the government's largest financial bailout since the Great Depression. The bill did not get the votes needed to pass. It failed 228 to 205. The House and Senate are not in session today because of the Rosh Hashanah Jewish holiday, but the House has planned a Thursday session to vote on this. One of our representatives, Democrat Mel Watt, voted for the plan.
Well, it's a hard decision in the sense that nobody wants to be in this predicament, but once you become convinced that you're in a predicament that needs something dramatic done to address it, you really feel like you're between a rock and a hard place.
Now, this is how North Carolina's congressional delegation voted on this bailout. Bob Etheridge, Brad Miller, David Price, and Mel Watt voted for the plan. George Butterfield, Mike McIntyre, Heath Schuler, Howard Coble, Virginia Fox, they all voted against it.
Oh, going now to these live pictures of this breaking news. And folks, take a look at your screens right here. This is the fire, fully involved fire at the Taco Bell in South Charlotte at the Arboretum Shopping Center. We just talked to Captain Rob Brisley live on the phone a short time ago, and he said they have several units here on the scene trying to get this put out. He did say that so far no firefighters hurt, no people hurt, so maybe it started when nobody was inside the Taco Bell. And a cause, well, something that it's going to take a long time to figure out on this fire, because you can see it's raging right now. Huge flames coming up from the roof, a lot of thick and heavy smoke from the scene here. And yeah, he talked about how Taco Bell wouldn't be opening today. This Taco Bell might not be open for a long time. Of course, we can't speculate on the extent of the damage as this fire continues to burn here. So this is breaking news that we continue to follow in South Charlotte. Incredible video here. This is the Taco Bell again at the Arboretum Shopping Center, and he said that this is not affecting. Okay, I'm just hearing in my ear now, this is affecting traffic. Apparently they're shutting down Providence, and it could be because of that smoke. Apparently none of the fire apparatus are actually blocking the road. They're all in the parking lot surrounding Taco Bell, but possibly shutting down Providence because of all the thick black smoke and inability really to see what's going on here. If you're heading down to Pineville Matthews Road or going down Providence Road, of course, if you go by the Arboretum, whether or not this is affecting the roads or not, people are going to be stopping to look at this. There are going to be significant traffic delays, I would imagine, if this fire does continue to burn. Okay, now I'm hearing there are hoses actually going across Providence, and probably because they need more water. A lot of times tanker trucks can come, they have water inside the trucks. Of course, fire hydrants are what they hook up to, but it looks like they had to go across Providence Road to maybe get some more water. So, is it both lanes that are blocked on Providence, Blaine, as you understand it?
Yes.
All right, I just heard Jamie out in the newsroom say that yes, both lanes of Providence are blocked right now. So this is a situation we're going to continue to stay on top of here on Eyewitness News Daybreak, and minute by minute this is going to be changing. We'll continue to follow it, try to get some new information. We'll be back to the slide picture in just a few seconds with some new details. Well, rejection of the bailout plan Monday sent the Dow Jones on its worst point drop for a single day in its history. It dropped 777 points, and it all started with a bad omen when the opening bell did not work at the New York Stock Exchange. Supposed to be a ding-dong there, but it never happened. People still clapped and the markets did open, unfortunately, I guess. The final bell did work, and it closed the markets yesterday with a huge loss. Here are the final numbers. The Dow was down to 777 points at 10,365. The NASDAQ fell 200 points, closing at 1983. We'll continue to follow new developments in this, and you can sign up for breaking news alerts on our website if you want at WSOC-TV.com. We'll have them sent to your email or your mobile phone.
Well, if you need to fill up this morning, we've got some bad news. Our crews had a tougher time finding gas overnight than on Monday morning.
Eyewitness News reporter Carol Lusk is live in West Charlotte this morning with more on the gas situation. Kara?
Yeah, we did a lot of driving overnight, and we only found about 3 gas stations offering gas overnight. Of course, that number is probably increasing this morning as some stations did receive some overnight deliveries. And this is actually one of them. It's the Raceway on Brookshire Boulevard at I-85. Steady flow of traffic here this morning. It's gotten much busier since about 5 o'clock this morning. But there were several cars out here just after 2:30 this morning, because that's when a tanker truck came and delivered 10,000 gallons of regular unleaded. Now, one of the other stations with gas, the Exxon on North Graham at I-85, only had a few pumps flowing. And we talked to one driver who got off work early this morning with his gas light blaring on. He said he has had to change his lifestyle and his mindset.
You got to watch everything. You got to watch your tank, where you go, how far it is. Do they have it where you're going? I mean, it's a whole lot of things. You have to do a lot of planning now that you didn't used to never think about.
Again, the Raceway here on Brookshire Boulevard at I-85 selling just regular unleaded, $3.98 a gallon. Also, the Texaco, Sharon Amity, and Independence, they are also selling gas. We're told that lines are actually forming out of that station. Also, we're told that the station, the Pilot Station on Statesville Road, also has gas this morning. Reporting live in West Charlotte, Kara Lusk, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Kara, thanks. We are continuing to follow this breaking news. If you look at your screen here, there is a fire going on at the Arboretum Taco Bell. That is a Taco Bell on fire right there. It's important to note both lanes of Providence Road are shut down in that area. There are hoses going across the road to try to get that blaze out. And just take a look. It is really going there. We do know some good news here. Nobody is hurt. We're going to continue to have live coverage of this fire at the Arboretum Taco Bell when we return on Eyewitness News Daybreak.
You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News Daybreak, 6 a.m. with Scott Wickersham, Natalie Pascarella, meteorologist Mark Watkins, and Jamie Bowers with traffic.
Wachovia bottom.
This is breaking news from Channel 9.
It's 6:10 in the morning, and folks, take a look at your screen at this big fire going on at the Taco Bell at the Arboretum Shopping Center at the corner of Providence and Pineville Matthews Road. Just 5 minutes ago, there was a massive amount of flames, and there you kind of see it flaring back up, but there's a lot more white smoke in this fire right now, which could mean they're starting to get this put out. It was all black smoke just 5 minutes ago and very heavy flames, but this is an indication that the Charlotte Fire Department is starting to get this big fire at the Taco Bell under control.
That's right, and there's no doubt this smoke could affect drivers in that area. We know right now for your morning commute, because of this fire, both lanes of Providence Road in that area are shut down, but we do know there are no injuries reported. That is definitely some good news there. We did talk to Fire Captain Rob Brisley a couple minutes ago. He's the one that told us the calls came in around 5:20 this morning about this blaze. This is almost an hour later. See, it's still going strong here, Scott.
Absolutely, and again, we watched, they've got their, on both sides of the fire, you can't see, it's obscured by the smoke, but there's another ladder that's shooting water onto the other side of this Taco Bell, and I can not speculate about the damage, but I'm sure it's significant damage, because if you didn't see the video about 5-10 minutes ago where there were flames shooting up in the air, a very large portion of this building was on fire. It looks like now they're starting to have this out, but concern for the morning commute is because Providence Road is blocked off by hoses and a lot of smoke in the area. Let's go to Jamie Bowers now, Jamie, and it's an incredible amount of smoke. I'd imagine drivers are affected on 51 and Providence.
Yeah, Scott, in terms of the smoke, I think it's drivers on Highway 51 that are affected. The smoke is drifting from the Taco Bell over towards the Walmart and the Chick-fil-A. So drivers up on Highway 51 near the Arboretum Drive area, near the medical park, those drivers probably being impacted by smoke. To the right of this picture, that's where Providence Road is. The fire department has not yet shut down Providence Road, but they've put in an extremely urgent call to Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police to send some officers out to shut down Providence Road. The fire department needs to stretch one of their hoses across to an additional fire hydrant to get some additional water on this fire. So Providence Road will be closed for the next 2 or 3 minutes as soon as the first police officers get there. If you're coming from I-485 heading into Charlotte, you'll have to take Ray Road as your alternate route because Providence will be closed. And then, as Scott and Natalie have said, if you're driving on Highway 51, I would expect some delays because of all of the smoke that's going to be drifting across the highway. Brian Stickley, our traffic reporter that drives around, he's actually coming up Providence Road right now trying to get to the scene to get us some more traffic information from the scene. And as soon as he gets there, we'll put him live on TV. Right now, let's go over to Severe Weather Center 9. Mark, what's the latest on this morning's rain?
Well, there's some light rain around the area. North of the city, not so much, but south of the city, there's quite a bit, and there's some downpours in areas south of Charlotte, down in South Carolina. Let's take a look at live early on .9. Light rain right in the city. This is some heavier rain to the south of the Charlotte area. Right now, it's widespread rain. It's called a light to moderate. It looks like a little heavier in parts of Matthews and Mid-Hill, where it's a little darker here in the middle part of the map. This is light rain on the perimeter. And well south of Charlotte, down around Highway 9 in South Carolina between Lancaster and Pageland, Highway 601, and also Highway 521 south of Waxhaw. Quite a bit of rain to show you. We'll talk more about the rain in a few minutes. Temperatures across the area in the 60s right now, and we'll be back on Daybreak in just a couple minutes.
Stay with Eyewitness News Daybreak for alternate routes to avoid traffic problems. The forecast from Severe Weather Center 9 is brought to you by Toyota of Lake Norman, I-77 exit 23.
You are watching Eyewitness News Daybreak. We are showing you live pictures right now of a Taco Bell at the Arboretum Shopping Center that is on fire. You can see the smoke going up there. It's been in flames for about an hour now.
Eyewitness News photographer Troy Hall was first on the scene bringing you these live pictures. Troy, if you can hear me, tell me about what you saw. Incredible video that you sent to us. This was a fully involved fire a short time ago.
When I first got on the scene, all I could see was just flames. And then as I came around the backside, I'm actually parked in the Arboretum. When I came around to the backside, I had to come through a real thick smoke. And once I got through, the flames were maybe going about 40, 50 feet in the air. There are about maybe 8 or 9 fire engines out here. There are 2 ladder trucks that are trying to attack it from the roof. As you can see, the smoke's coming real heavy now, but I can still see some flickering going on the back side. So I'm thinking there's still a fire that they're fighting. But you can see it's eased up. It's not as much commotion as when I got here. A lot of the firemen are taking a breathe. I've heard the signals going off on the air compressors. And as you can see from the white smoke, that means they're getting the fire out.
Troy, quick question for you. We see the smoke kind of in all directions there, and we know that firefighters are trying to shut down part of Providence Road in that section. So for drivers, are you seeing smoke out on the road there?
I came up Providence from 45, and the smoke seems to be blowing more into 51, and at the corner of 51 and Providence. So if you're coming up that way, it's going to be completely blocked, and I suggest you take 485 back into town. And as you see, it's starting to come up again. The flames are starting to get bright again.
Very intense, Troy. I've got to imagine the smoke is almost oppressive there on the scene. We're going to let you get back to doing what you do, taking pictures and getting the best video. Of course, we're going to stay in contact with Troy here on the scene, and as if this does flare back up, as he's talking about, we can still see flames. We'll go back to these live pictures this morning. So if you head past the Arboretum this morning, just watch out for traffic delays and very thick, heavy smoke as they try to put out the fire at this Taco Bell at the Arboretum Shopping Center. Troy, thanks for that. Now we want to check in with meteorologist Mark Watkins to see what's happening outside. Mark, some people I hear having a little bit of rain.
Yeah, there is some rain around the area. Most of it's south of the city, but this is light rain right here in Charlotte, south of Charlotte. These are pockets of some heavier rain showers moving across the area, roughly west to east, left to right. So what streets? Providence Road, there's 485, Mid-Hill, Matthews, Harrisburg area, but to the south it's even heavier. And I've marked some of the major highways across the region. State Highway 9 between Lancaster and Pageland, getting a good soaking, nice little downpour right there in the middle part of the map. It's wet on State Highway 200, State Highway 522, U.S. Highway 601, and U.S. Highway 521 also getting some rain. There's a look at the movement across, near Monroe. Heaviest rain looks like to be in Lancaster County down to the south of the Charlotte area. Let's switch to a little different view. Then this is a computer called Fast Track, and I'm going to show you the same radar information right there. However, let's switch on this storm tracker. You can see where some of the heaviest rain will be moving over the next few minutes into these communities, including Forest Hills, Forest Acres, and Green Hill. That's the movement of the heaviest rain on the south side of the Charlotte metro area. Let's go back to the other computer here. Now, this is the forecast for the afternoon, and you can see through the afternoon hours, we get a break in the early afternoon, but more rain. This is a forecast now. These blobs show you where the rain chances are good for the afternoon. We'll back up a little bit here in time and show you about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, don't see any rain. During the midday hours, we'll get some sun for a while. But once we get later in the afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock, some more showers are going to develop and move across the area into the early evening. So here's what to expect. This morning, some scattered rain. Most of it this morning looks to be south and southeast of Charlotte. And in pockets, it's coming out pretty good southeast of Charlotte, down around Lancaster County. During the midday hours, the sun will be breaking through the clouds. Let's call it partly cloudy. And then we'll get another shower or two moving across the area during the afternoon into the early evening. Temperatures right now are in the 60s, 63 degrees at Denver and Kannapolis, 64 currently at Harrisburg and Mid-Hill. Right now it's 65 degrees in the Pineville area. I think we'll have enough sunshine to get us into the low 80s here in Charlotte. It's going to be one of those days when we get lots of clouds, but I think we'll get just enough cloudiness, I should say just enough sunshine through the clouds to get us up to 80 today. Tomorrow morning, there's a slight chance some of this rain could linger into early tomorrow, but I think tomorrow, most of the day will be dry for most of us. It'll be 76 degrees tomorrow afternoon. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings, we'll be looking at 40s and 50s to start the day. So a little chilly air will follow this rain as it clears out through the day on Wednesday morning. We'll get some cooler air filtering in behind it. We'll really feel it Thursday morning when it drops to 49 degrees. Let's check the streets outside with Brian Stickley. Brian, what's up with the traffic?
Well, Mark, that rain has creeped its way all the way up into Mecklenburg County now. We've had pretty good rain come through Union County up into southeastern Mecklenburg County here at 485 in Providence all the way up toward the Arboretum. Streets are soaking wet, and a very light mist falling now, but we just did get to turn our windshield wipers on to intermittent. It was raining pretty heavily coming through. As you're traveling through the Arboretum area, Jamie's been telling you all morning about this fire. The Taco Bell's burned there at the Arboretum. It's still burning, and the fire department needs a supply line. They're going to put one across Providence Road. Providence Road in and outbound will be blocked because the hydrant's on the opposite side of the roadway, so they're going to have to close Providence Road just before Highway 51 as you're coming in on Providence, just after 51 as you're heading away. Plus, another issue is smoke that is coming off the building. It is sort of migrating over to Highway 51 in that direction and causing a pretty hazy look as you travel down 51 by the Arboretum. Keep this in mind. You might want to take an alternate route. I'm Officer Brian Stickley, Traffic Team 9.
Brian, that fire has re-intensified. That's one reason that the fire department needs to close Providence Road to get some more water on the fire. With Providence closed probably for at least the next 45 minutes, you'll want to take 485 to Ray and then Ray Road back up to Highway 51 or Ray Road all the way back up to Providence as your alternate route. Let's go back to those incredible live pictures that we have from the scene. There you can see the flames coming out of the roof of this Taco Bell that's on Providence Road at the Arboretum, just south of Highway 51. We will continue to follow this breaking news and have another update for you when Eyewitness News Daybreak continues.
This is breaking news from Channel 9.
6:26 Tuesday morning, back to live pictures here from this fire at the Taco Bell at the Arboretum Shopping Center at the corner of Highway 51 and Providence Road. And this fire is getting under control, but you can still see flames and plenty of thick black smoke. This fire started at about 5:20 this morning at the Taco Bell at the Arboretum. Look at all the firefighters here on the scene. At one point, this fire was absolutely raging. Flames going 20 feet up above the roof of that Taco Bell. And you can see, Natalie, that it's still burning, but certainly they've beaten it down quite a bit.
That's right. And just so you know, if you head out the door this morning, you're hitting those roads. Providence Road is closed in that section while they fight these flames. We do know Jamie Bowers told us that's because they're trying to get those hoses across the street to get more water from a hydrant across the street to fight that blaze. You can see the fire, those flames right there starting back up. We thought it went down a little bit. Now it's back in full form there. Now, Fire Captain Rob Brisley told us that no other structures near there are at risk. We do know, luckily, nobody is hurt right now. That's what we were hearing from him. And obviously still going there.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, eventually they'll want to find out what caused this, but that's a long way away. They've got to get this under control first. So if your travels this morning take you by the Arboretum, just watch out for delays out there. Jamie will have alternate routes in just a moment. Brian Stickley is heading to the scene. Photographer Troy Hull is on the scene as well. We're going to check in with him to try to get an update on this in just a few minutes.
Said wet roads out there?
In places,
couple
yeah,
spots.
there are some rainy spots. Right now it's raining in the Charlotte area. Up toward Concord, it's lighter amounts. South of the city, it's heavier showers down in Lancaster, parts of Union, Chesterfield County. Quite a downpour right now. Near Jefferson and western Chesterfield County, there's been a little lightning at times too. I-40 northward, dry conditions, dry up that way. So some showers around this morning, a few more showers during the afternoon and evening. During the midday hours, I think we get a break. The sun will come through the clouds for a while. They'll get the temperature up to 80. Tomorrow, slight chance any of this rain lingers into tomorrow. I think tomorrow morning there might be a few wet spots, but most of the day on Wednesday will be dry. High tomorrow 76. Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings, that's when we really get cool. It'll be in the 40s and 50s.
All right. It's going to get chilly.
Yep.
All right, Mark, thanks. And we do have weather and traffic every 10 minutes on Eyewitness News Daybreak 6 a.m. Right now, Traffic Team 9's Brian Stickley is on the scene of that fire at the Taco Bell at the Arboretum Shopping Center. Brian, what are you seeing right now?
Well, we're seeing smoke pouring out of the top of the building. The ladder trucks have set up above the building, and they're putting some water onto the fire from above. They pulled their firefighters out as the roof has collapsed on this building. It continues to flare up from time to time. As you can see, the flames go into the smoke and turn them sort of a golden color. But firefighters still battling this working fire at the Arboretum's Taco Bell right here at Providence Road and 51. All the inbound lanes now of Providence Road are now open. They have decided they can just use the right lane outbound of Providence Road to close. And they have there's some major flames coming out of there now, as you can see. But coming outbound on Providence Road, crossing over 51, the far right-hand lane will be closed. They will cone off and allow the left-hand lane to get through. But the inbound lanes, that's the good news for you, are open right now. Smoke is migrating across Providence Road, and sometimes when the wind changes across Highway 51. Do keep this in mind. You will be delayed getting in on Providence. I'm Officer Brian Stick, Traffic Team 9.
All right, Brian Stickley, thanks very much. We'll check back in with him just a little bit later. Also, we've spoke already to Captain Rob Brisley. We're going to get him back on the phone again now that we've had a chance to take a look at this fire, and I'll have more details about what's happening.
Plus, later on Eyewitness News Daybreak, the big bank buyouts like Wachovia could affect how much you're going to pay for your accounts.
Obesity, a disease that affects the whole community in some way. I'm Erica Bryant. Learn more about its devastating impact on Charlotte's at-risk population at the 5th Annual Health Symposium, Striving for Healthcare Equality, Thursday, October 16th.
Great news from Toyota Scion of Concord. The best deals.
Channel 9 Eyewitness News Daybreak 6 a.m. continues now in high definition.
We are continuing to follow breaking news this morning in South Charlotte, where there is a fire, as you can see right now, going on at the Arboretum Shopping Center at the Taco Bell there. You can see the smoke coming up there, and we do know, luckily, nobody is injured at this hour.
But this has been an intense fire. About 15-20 minutes ago, there were flames shooting up from the roof, but it looks like firefighters are managing to get it beat down there. But there's a lot of heat here. We have Captain Rob Brisley back on the phone this morning. Captain Brisley, what's the status of this fire as it sits right now?
Right now, the fire department has gone to a defensive attack or defensive operation. We've got 2 ladder pipes up, and early on we were flowing about 1,000 gallons a minute because the fire conditions had overwhelmed the roof and attic area, causing a collapse. So that's why we had to pull firefighters out.
So if you go into a defensive mode, does that mean that the damage will probably be a little more, there'll be more damage because you're not actively trying to put it out, you're just trying to contain it? Is that what defensive means?
In our business, being defensive is the safe way of fighting fire, which is remove firefighters from a dangerous situation. And with the water and the equipment, very often this building like this could suffer significant damage. But for firefighters to go defensive is a technique or a tack we use to ensure that we come home safely, but still take care of the fire conditions.
Now, Rob, you said that there were no injuries reported right now. Can you tell us how your guys are doing on the scene there, or any new reports of anybody hurt?
No, we're glad to report still no reports of any injuries on scene. However, we're going to be rotating some firefighters in and out of this incident. Early on, this went to a second alarm, bringing over 11 companies to the scene, and we're already starting to rotate some of the crews. But that's part of our strategy, is when it comes to a defensive operation, we have better safety policies or programs in place, and more importantly, firefighters can still work safe at this scene.
And Rob, earlier on you also told us you didn't think there'd be any structural damage to any of the businesses nearby. What's the status right now?
We can confirm that there's no damage to any businesses here at Arboretum except this one restaurant. The second hydrant we had to tap into is causing a little bit of traffic delays out there on Providence Road. But because of the many fire trucks, hose placements, and the firefighters in position, the damage is just going to be contained to this one business.
All right, well, one more quick question, Captain Brisley. It looks, at this point, it looks like, the flames are a little more intense than they were. Is that something that's going to, because you're in a defensive fighting mode as of containing this fire, will it just continue to burn and you'll keep it from spreading? I'm just trying to wonder if this Taco Bell is going to burn down to the ground, and if that's part of the defensive plan, because you can't really get in there. It's dangerous to try to put it out right now.
I would describe this as significant damage that's taking place to this restaurant. The defensive operation is the proper technique when fire has consumed the roof and attic of a structure, and we're going to safely take care of containing the blaze to just this business with a goal of having firefighters go home safe and no damage to any other businesses.
All right, Fire Captain Rob Brisley, sir, again, you're very busy, and thank you so much for joining us to keep our viewers informed. Charlotte Fire Department always does a great job of spreading information to us so we can get it out to our viewers. And it looks, at this point, like, as he said, significant damage to this Taco Bell at the Arboretum. And from what I've seen, it looks pretty bad, like it could be a total loss.
Yes, and as he said, no structural damage to any of the businesses nearby, and luckily nobody hurt. He did say they're doing that defensive attack right now. We can see our screen's getting a little black here. You can still see the flames on the left side there. But again, this blaze has been going since about 5:20 this morning.
Absolutely. They're just trying to keep firefighters safe, and it looks like to keep it from spreading. All right, thanks for joining us this morning, everybody. I'm Scott Wickersham.
And I'm Natalie Pasquarello. Some other big stories this morning, the Wachovia buyout deal and what it means to Charlotte.
Also a live report as the gas gas shortage, it continues to impact drivers as it has for several days now. And some people are getting a shower. Meteorologist Mark Watkins has a forecast. Mark?
I'm going to show you several views of the radar picture this morning. On the wide view, notice that north of I-40, there's nothing to show you. It's dry up that way, so you have dry streets to start the day in Hickory and Statesville. But in the Concord area, we're getting a light to moderate rain. Kannapolis, Harrisburg, even Mount Pleasant now wet. Part of that has gone into Rowan County, across Union County. Steady shower for quite a while now, so it's wet in Waxhaw, Unionville, and Wingate. South of Monroe, down in South Carolina, there have been some pockets of heavy rain down in South Carolina around Lancaster County and parts of Chesterfield County. Temperatures are in the 60s outside right now. Highs should be around 80. We'll talk more about the rest of the day in a few minutes. Right now, let's talk traffic. It's a busy morning. Jamie, what do you have?
We continue to follow the breaking news from the Arboretum, Mark, because this massive fire at the Taco Bell is causing traffic delays for people coming in on Providence Road this morning. All lanes are open, but obviously everybody's slowing down to take a look at the fire. If you need to travel away from town on Providence, if you're heading down toward 485, some of the outbound lanes of Providence Road are actually blocked because of the fire hoses. I would suggest avoiding the area completely. You could use Ray Road as an alternate route traveling between I-485 and Highway 51. Another situation we're seeing in a few places this morning, gas lines causing traffic delays. This is an example from Independence at Sharon Amity. The outbound right lane is blocked by that gas line, as well as one lane on Sharon Amity. We're also hearing that on the Brookshire at I-85, there's a line causing some traffic backups as well. We'll have more from Carol Lusk on the gas shortage in just a few moments here on Eyewitness News Daybreak.
You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News Daybreak, 6 a.m. with Scott Wickersham, Natalie Pascarella, meteorologist Mark Watkins, and Jamie Bowers with traffic.
Actress Christina Applegate.
You don't think it's going to...
Welcome to Eyewitness News Daybreak. It's now 20 minutes before 7 o'clock, a very busy morning with news and weather. Now, the weather includes some light rain in the parts of Rowan County area up toward Albemarle, back toward Concord, and some heavy rain to the southeast of Charlotte. Also notice it's you're dry this morning up around I-40 between Hickory and Statesville. The movement of the rain is roughly west to east, and we'll zero in real quick like down toward the southeastern part of the metro area where the rain is so heavy. It's falling pretty heavily in Pageland and the Jefferson area. This is the South Carolina, North Carolina state line, and so there are some downpours down in parts of Lancaster and Chesterfield County, and of course that's moving again west to east away from the Charlotte area. Temperatures are in the 60s outside right now. We'll tell you more about the weather, talk about the prospects of getting a little sunshine later today in a few minutes. Right now let's talk about traffic. Brian Stickley's outside. Brian?
Although the rain has subsided here at the Arboretum, streets are soaking wet. They're soaking wet from showers that went through earlier this morning. So you're going to be out on wet streets this morning if you're leaving in this area. Keep that in mind. We're in this area due to the fire here at the Taco Bell. Taco Bell is pretty well gutted at this point. Flames continue to shoot up out of it, so they're up above it with ladder trucks attacking this from above. They pulled their firefighters out of the building as the building roof became unsafe and began to collapse. So we want to get those firefighters out of there. Police have areas blocked. Here's what they have. Coming out of town on Providence Road, if you want to cross over 51, can't do it. Right lane's blocked there. They're trying to cone off and let you go down the left lane, but right now they're not. Inbound lanes of Providence Road going by the Arboretum, right now you can use the inbound lanes to go in. Do you think folks will be looking at a burning, working fire? Yes, so it will be slow. Might want to use an alternate route, and Jamie Bowers can get those for you. Flames continue to shoot from the roof of the Taco Bell here at Providence Arboretum. I'm Officer Brian Stickley, Traffic Team 9.
Brian, thanks. People are nervous about what's going to happen after the buyout of Wachovia goes through, and we can learn more about that deal today. We also broke the news to you yesterday during Good Morning America that Citigroup will buy Wachovia's retail banking business and investment bank. Wachovia also sold its wealth management division, and Citigroup plans to take over billions of dollars of troubled mortgage loans that put Wachovia in need of rescue. Now, if all goes as planned, the deal will close by the end of the year. Charlotte city leaders say their goal now is to lobby Citigroup to keep as many jobs in Charlotte as possible.
The Wachovia buyout only added to a bad day on Wall Street yesterday. House lawmakers rejected that $700 billion bailout, and the markets took a huge nosedive. The Dow suffered its largest ever point loss, closing down 777 points. The Nasdaq fell 200, and overnight Japan's Nikkei index and Hong Kong's Hang Seng lost about 3 to 5% there as well. It would have been the government's largest financial bailout since the Great Depression. The bill did not get the votes needed to pass, though. 228 no, 205 yes. Despite all the urgency on this, the House and Senate will not be in session today because of the Rosh Hashanah Jewish holiday. The House did plan to meet Thursday to talk about this. Coming back breaking news coverage of that fire here on Eyewitness News Daybreak. We'll be right back.
Live early warning Doppler 9.
When storms pop up, we'll be right here in Severe Weather Center 9 to pinpoint those storms right down to your neighborhood.
The most sophisticated Doppler radar system in the Charlotte area, bringing you early warning.
Tracking severe weather as it approaches and moves through the area.
In times of severe weather, depend on live early warning Doppler 9 and Chief Meteorologist Steve Butelson, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, covering the Carolinas in high definition.
1000.
Stay tuned for weather conditions for the morning commute on Channel 9 Eyewitness News Daybreak.
You are watching Eyewitness News Daybreak, and we are continuing to follow this breaking news out of South Charlotte. You're looking live at a Taco Bell fire at the Arboretum Shopping Center. You can see the smoke coming up there. We do know nobody was hurt, but this blaze has been going since 5:20, over an hour, Scott.
Absolutely, and our Eyewitness News crew was the first on the scene. We were the first to report the fire and the first to bring you live pictures. This is video from about half an hour, 40 minutes ago, and you can see how intense this fire was not too long ago. You can see ladder trucks on both sides of this fire, in front of the flames right there, and then that spotlight you can see on the top of the screen in the smoke. That's another ladder, and they were spraying water down to try to get this put out. Eventually, though, there was so much damage to the roof and so much damage to the structure that Captain Rob Brisley told us they have gone now into a defensive mode in this fire, which means they're just trying to contain it. They say no other structures are in danger, but they just want to make sure that there's no other damage. It looks like this Taco Bell is very badly damaged.
That's right, and Captain Brisley told us that they were using 1,000 gallons of water a minute early on in the blaze. They said originally there were 11 fire companies on scene. Of course, they are rotating those firefighters right now.
It's very hot out there, so stay with Eyewitness News. You can see a firefighter right there taking a break. Stay with Eyewitness News as we stay on top of this breaking story, and this is affecting traffic as well. If you go by the Arboretum for the morning commute, be careful out there. Lots of smoke and at times sporadic lane closures in that area. Well, also overnight, our Eyewitness News crews had a hard time finding gas yet again.
That's right, but Governor Mike Easley says he's worked out a deal to get more gas to the area soon, and Mayor Pat McCrory said he expects another big delivery to come this week. Eyewitness News reporter Kara Lusk searched the city overnight for gas. Kara, where'd you finally find it?
Well, actually, this is only one of a few of the places that we found gas. It is the Raceway on Brookshire Boulevard at I-85. And as you can see, there are literally lines of cars at each of the 24 pumps. They have 24 pumps here. So there's quite a bit of cars that have been going in and out all morning long. We were actually here when a gas tanker came about 2:30 this morning. It delivered 10,000 gallons of regular unleaded. Also overnight, we learned how the gas shortage is affecting AAA. We caught up with one AAA responder who said they are responding to calls like dead batteries while now, since regular gas is so hard to come by. He also said under normal circumstances, they would help people get gas. However,
they've had to bring a tow truck out and tow the vehicle, or our drivers would have to wait in line for, a couple hours like all these other people are waiting. And it cost us more money to do that than it would be for us to just tow them and get them, to a safe location.
again, you can find gas this morning at the Raceway on Brookshire Boulevard at I-85. Also, the Texaco on Sharon Amity at Independence. Jamie Bowers referenced a few minutes ago that one is very busy as well, with traffic now spilling out onto the road. Also, we heard that gas is available at the Pilot on Statesville Road. Reporting live in West Charlotte, Kara Lusk, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Kara's been hunting gas for us all week. Kara, thanks for that live update. We have your weather and traffic together every 10 minutes. Let's see what's happening outside. Meteorologist Mark Watkins has the forecast.
Scott, we're getting some rain in some neighborhoods. Now, it is dry in many locations from I-40 northward, but from the Charlotte area south and eastward, there is some rain to show you. This is light rain across parts of Rowan County, Cabarrus County, Stanley County. Union County's had some nice little downpours, and south of the state line, it's coming down pretty heavily. There's a closer look at Concord, Albemarle, Richfield. This is some light rain, but streets highways are going to be wet out your front door in the Rockwell area around Faith and over toward Locust and Midland. In Union County, Peachland, this is 74. The rain's will be this direction. It is wet outside. Nice little rain shower. It's produced about 1/4 of an inch. South of the state line, there's the state line right there. It's raining very heavily. This has produced over 1/2, and in some neighborhoods maybe a full inch now, because this is heavy rain that's falling in the Jefferson area. There have been a few lightning strikes a few hours ago, but in the past few minutes I've not seen any lightning strikes in the Jefferson area. There might be a little thunder possibly produced by this heavy rain, but at the moment there are no severe watches, no severe warnings, nothing like that. Just some heavy rain down in South Carolina. And tell you what, there's the wider view, and there's a look at the current temperatures across the area. The temperatures don't seem to be affected by that rain activity, because it's still in the 60s. It has not cooled down around Chesterfield and over toward Albemarle, where it is wet. Let me show you another view, though. This is going to be our fast track. This will give you an idea where the rain is heading, and this is just some of the heavy rain I've highlighted here in South Carolina, and it gives you an idea where the heaviest rain will be falling over the next few minutes, moving into Leavenworth and Antioch and Hunt Spring over the next few minutes. Now, back to the wider view. There's something I want to show you. Now, this is the heavy rain we're watching around the area this morning down in here, but we're also keeping an eye on this band of rain up toward the north. That doesn't look very intense right now, does it? But it is part of our forecast for the afternoon hours. We'll add the satellite pictures, show you that there is a break right in here. So what's happening is we're getting some rain around the area right now. We'll get some sunshine through the midday hours, and then in the afternoon, some more clouds and showers that move across the region. This is our forecast map. Let me back this up and show it to you. For the afternoon, you can see where the chance of rain's pretty good. 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, we're going to get some passing showers, it looks like. And here's an even closer view. Now, this is the forecast. Looking into the future, you can see the timestamp, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. This indicates some scattered, looks like light showers moving across the area, and they're gone. The second area rain is gone by 10:30 or so. So this morning, scattered rain during the midday hours, partly cloudy skies, and we'll get some other shower activity moving across the area. Most of it's going to be north of Charlotte this afternoon and evening. High temperatures should climb up to about 80 degrees in the city. Call it upper 70s in Morgan and Hickory, low 80s in Monroe and Rock Hill, 82 will be your high in the Chesterfield area. The shower activities, it's kind of like two areas of rain we're talking about. Showers south and east this morning, and a few scattered showers north of the city this afternoon and evening. Some of that rain may linger into tomorrow, but most of it stay dry on Wednesday. High tomorrow is going to be 76, and then that's when the cooler air comes into the area. You'll start to feel it Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. That's when the temperature drops to 49 degrees. So Thursday morning, we'll start with 49 degrees. We'll have 48 degrees Friday morning. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday during the day, plenty of sun. It does warm up. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings around sunrise is when we get our low temperature of the 24-hour day usually. That's when it's going to be 48, 49, 50 degrees.
That's the kind of morning when the dog goes outside and wants back in about 5 seconds.
One little toe out, and it goes back in. I know what you mean. Yeah, that's right.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. We do have weather and traffic every 10 minutes on Eyewitness News Daybreak 6 a.m. Right now, Traffic Team 9's Brian Stickley remains on the scene of that Taco Bell fire in South Charlotte.
Good morning. Here at the Arboretum, checking the Taco Bell fire that's going on, taking the right lane away from you on Providence Road. Providence Road outbound past 51. The right lane blocked by law enforcement there. The left lane available to you to get away from town. The inbound lanes are okay coming in on Providence Road. All the inbound lanes will slow down to look at what's going on here at the Taco Bell, which is pretty well gutted from an overnight fire. As you're traveling on I-77 southbound around Cherry Road, exit 82 in Rock Hill, a problem there. That is an accident this morning, 77 southbound around exit 82. And Beatty's Ford Road and Slater Road, an accident, some injuries are involved. Firefighters, medic, and police, all at Beatty's Ford and Slater. Drive safely. I'm Officer Brian Stickley, Traffic Team 9.
Thank you, Brian. Let me start with a way to get around the delays on Providence Road near the Arboretum. If you're coming from I-485 traveling in toward Charlotte, I'd recommend using Ray Road up to Highway 51, or maybe even Ray Road all the way up to Providence as an alternate route. I expect the delays on Providence to continue probably through the morning commute. Everybody will be slowing down to take a look at the fire scene. We also continue to follow the gas lines causing delays on Independence at Sharon-Amity. This is the outbound right lane that's blocked. Also causing delays on inbound Brookshire just before I-85. More on this morning's breaking news and another update on today's forecast when Eyewitness News Daybreak continues.
This is breaking news from Channel 9.
More live updates from the Taco Bell at the Arboretum, Highway 51 and Providence Road. And you can see it looks like a lot of this fire is now contained as firefighters have been out there since 5:20 this morning, dumping water on this restaurant, which has been severely damaged by a very big fire this morning.
That's right, and right now it's important to note there are no injuries reported at this hour. And Fire Captain Rob Brisley tells us there is significant damage, of course, to this Taco Bell, but he says there's no structural damage to any of the neighboring businesses. So that's definitely some good news. Here's a look at some video that we shot earlier. Our crews were the first on the scene. You can see that blaze was pretty much out of control there. They've got the ladders going from both ends, getting water on those flames.
And it took them quite a while to get this knocked down because of the intensity of these flames, and it has been pouring thick smoke all over this area for over an hour and a half now. So if you're traveling in that direction, anywhere near the Arboretum on 51 or Providence Road, watch out for smoke out there, and watch out for, again, Providence Road sporadic lane closures as they had to get more water in here. There were 11 companies fighting this fire, a 2-alarm fire, and early on, Captain Rob Brisley telling us 1,000 gallons a minute is what they were pouring on this fire. So very hot, very intense, and it took them some time, Natalie, to get this put out.
That's right. And if you are heading out on those roads right now, you're going to need some information on how to get around that. For more on how the roads are looking in that area of South Charlotte, here's Traffic Team 9's Brian Stickley.
Lanes of Providence Road are wide open. Inbound lanes are open. No problem getting in on Providence Road. And the spectacular fire flaming flames that came out of the top of this have pretty well subsided now. It's under control. So that's not going to draw the attention of the drivers coming in. So we're making some progress here on Providence Road heading in. Heading away from town, the right lane remains blocked out now. They're letting the left lane go by cones all the way by the Arboretum here. And everything seems to be moving very well at this point. You're on wet streets from overnight showers that came through. A little steam continues to go from the building here at the Taco Bell that burned completely overnight at the Arboretum. Otherwise, there's some accidents throughout the area. Jamie Bowers has those.
We're following one on Beatty's Ford at Slater. That's going to be Beatty's Ford between Sunset and I-85. I'd recommend using I-77 as your alternate route. Also down in Rock Hill, an accident, I-77 southbound near Cherry Road. I've checked the traffic cameras. It's not causing a big backup, so an alternate route is not necessary. Mark?
Some heavy rain this morning in South Carolina, and the heavy rain is staying well south of us. It's moving past us to the east toward Chesterfield counties where the heavy rain is. But north of Charlotte, there are some wet streets because of that passing lighter rain. We have some wet streets right here in Charlotte. From roughly Lake Norman north or north of I-40, it's dry outside. Now later today, I think during the midday hours, we'll all get some sun for a while, but late in the day, I think a few more showers will develop and move across the area. I think later today, the better chance of rain will be north of the city.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. And just so you know, we are going to have live updates on that fire at the Taco Bell in South Charlotte.
We'll have that at 7:22. Right now, time for Good Morning America. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes.